Okay, hi everybody, and this is going to be the how to use my kit tutorial. So I'm using the feather kit. So there also is a previous kit that has a similar layout with the numbers and tags and things. So what I'm going to start with is showing you one way you can use the kit. So there's lots of different ways. So what I've actually done, I've printed out the more yellow picture onto cardstock. Then I've also printed out some of the other pages just on normal photocopy paper. So they're printed out enough that you can fold them in half, and it's a bit smaller than A4. So what I've done is printed them all out, folded them, made a book, added in a few of these little pages, just tea stained paper, and then I have trimmed it down so as it's nice and square. And then I've just rounded the corners with my little corner punch. I did about 3 or 4 pages at a time. So this is where I got to with it. Before I sew it, so anyway, you can sew it as a signature if you don't understand what I'm talking about. There's my 30-day beginner junk journal, which will show you how to sew in a signature. So I'm not going to do that now because sometimes it's easier to pull a page out to work on it. This is my little pile of bits and pieces that I have been making to show you how to use this kit. So the nameplates are mucked around. As everyone knows, my hand has been not so great, so I apologise for my disgusting edges, but it's really hard to cut circles with scissors at the moment. So what I've done is a couple of ideas. Now, I wasn't very happy that I didn't really get that on the way I could have, but however, we persevere. It just gives an idea. Now, the first thing I did with this one was I have got tea dye. I've already gone around the edges on this one. Now, what I need to tell you about these is that they do go one particular way. So if you try to do it this way, it's wrong. So you've got to work out before you distress your edges, if you want to distress your edges, which is the right way. Of course, I already did it the wrong way and then had to just do the back. I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter, does it? It's just whether you are fussy about your time. So basically, this is what I've done. Just glued them down. Just going to put some of this on. This is quick and ready to go. And then you're just going to work out where it sits. I don't mind this glue, but it is wet, so it makes it actually a bit. See, look at. Am I under? Yeah, I'm under. Like, look how movable it still is. So that's okay if you want to position. Not really a problem. The only thing I noticed is that the edges are not necessarily square. If you want to, you can just neaten them up a bit. If you want, maybe you don't mind. Let that dry. Put this one on. If you're someone who's an illustrator, you might want to use this as a thought bubble. It's quite big. I just saw that and thought, oh, that's funny. That would be good. I actually also thought I might like it on the front. I actually quite like that there. I am going to, see, it's all about play. So these, let's just look at these first. These are little tiny cute little brads that I've got. So I'll show you how I've done that on here. Oh. Tracy, if you watch this, you're going to laugh because I'm going to leave it in. So some of us YouTubers, when we have a little conversation, will have a laugh about whether we've cut out our coughing or not. Whether we've cut out our sneezing. And then sometimes when you leave stuff in and you go, oh, everyone's just going to think I'm such a dunderhead. But you know, people aren't that, they're not that unkind. And honestly, this stuff just happens. All right, so I've got the small side of my crocodile, and I'm just lining it up in here. And I'm going to use my right hand because my left hand is just still, my thumb's still not very great. I'm just eyeballing kind of roughly the middle and in a bit, so as there's a bit of white on the other side. Eyeballing or guesstimating, however you want to see it. All right, so we've got a green. I felt like this, I felt this reminded me a little bit, it's a bit naturey, it's feathers, so it can be a nature journal kind of thing, booklet. All right. Now, I don't like the way that, I wish I'd have used my glitter glue now because I'm not liking the way that that's kind of buckled, whereas these are nice and flat, but oh well. I don't know how many other flowers I've got. I've got white ones, but I think they won't. Oh, I saw a yellow. I think I saw a yellow flower then. Definitely got pink and green and white flowers. Let's see. Yeah, I think the white will be a bit, I don't know, won't stand out enough. Oh, there's a blue. All right. Blue flower. Luck of the draw, they're the first pair of a different colour that came out. Oh, I think I just saw red. So I'm just basically putting these in the little holes. These are little tiny mini ones. They're not very big, but they work with the other, you know, with the small side of the crocodile. I'm just pushing them down. This is what I did. Because, you know, got to flatten them down. I shouldn't have done that. Now I've got to edit even more, edit out the sound effects when they're too loud. All right, do you think I can open this? Can I? I don't know. Maybe not. There it goes. I was just about to tell it to stop wasting my time. Oh, look, yeah, okay. I'm sad. I'll use glitter glue in the future. I think I'm going to do a similar thing. Here. Now I don't really want this, when I've done this, to swing around. And as you could do, I wouldn't do it on a cover. I would do it inside as a bit of fun. But here, what I'll do is actually stick it down once I've punched the hole in the right spot. All right, I'm back after that phone call. I still have to work out how to get my phone to not ring and cut off while I'm recording. I only have certain hours of light, so all right, let's see. This is where I was up to. I have to line up that little dot there. Can't see anything. That's why. There's a bit of paper stuck in there. That's why I can't see the dot. All right, there it is. That's better. All right, so I want to do this, but I'm going to glue this down. I don't want to make it all wet like the last time, so let's hope my glitter glue is working. Oh, now it is. Okay, good. So what do other people do if they're using their phone to record? What I find interesting is I do actually have it on airplane mode, and so it shouldn't ring. Right, I'm going to line that up over the top of that hole. Where is it? Where's it gone? There. Straighten it so as it's square. I think I'd like to maybe continue with the little flower. Now, of course, I like this, however, we're going to have to cover this rather than have that sticking out like that. You could do this, but that's too. So these will go through the book in different areas, and obviously there are a few different ways. All right, so we've done that. Need some little words here. These, I think, similar words. I haven't actually done that, but that's something I could do. What I used was this stamp, and obviously it's a bit hard when it's like that. I might actually make some clip art that does the same as that. So let's just put those aside for now. I've got a bit off track with that phone call. What can I say? He's a handsome guy. I had to talk to him. Oh, that's nice. So see, there's lots of different things. So I actually punched these out, but because of my hand, I cut one to see how I'd go. Putting those aside for now. All right, so we've got the tags that I started cutting out. Take a little bit extra off that because it's just got that edge. Is So if you just actually cut just inside the line, you get rid of the edge there. Right, so there's these tags. I've cut out these, and these tags will actually fit in to these little pockets. I cut out a couple of the little numbers with backgrounds, and I thought that they might be good on these. Like I say, I didn't do any pink background numbers, but these are all right. Do what you like. Maybe a bit of green. You don't have to distress them. You can, but you can if you like. These are just some ideas of what you can do with the kit. That straight. I think I wouldn't mind actually just giving this a bit of a thing, a bit of a distress. Now if you're going to, I did have a freebie with some words on my website from the Junk Journal Challenge, the 30-day Beginners Junk Journal Challenge. So some of you might already have a copy of those, or you can use someone else's. Really, up to you. Okay, we've got one little pocket. Another thing I wanted to show you was, right, put the tags there. Right, there's these pockets as well. These should fit across. I was just looking at whether I wanted to distress the edges, but I'm not fussed. With these, you could also sew them onto the page. I'm not sewing today, I'm just showing. Oh, that was a bit wonky. Just showing the basics. Right, let's have a look at the, line that there. Line that there just so as I've got a good look at where the actual borders are. A bit wobbly. Alright, so I've just lifted it up, so I'm just putting a bit more glue there because under the camera there. Just get that stuck down. Is that alright? Yeah. That's what happened. I lifted it up and the glue was had a bit of time to dry off a bit. Alright, so I've got this one. Now I've cut out the little tab, and this is one idea. So if you print printing it out on colour on one side, you could leave it blank. You could also stick some of this behind it if you wanted to. I've added a lot of these tea-dyed papers in here, so I think there's plenty of writing spots. And, you know, obviously you can decorate as much as you like. All I did with the tag was glue it inside. And lined up so that the edge of that is on here, and then just stuck that down. I'm going to glue this down first. That'll cover those little threads over. Okay. So now's the time where you just start to mix around, have a bit of a play, see what works for you. Have a bit of fun. I will bind this and I will continue working on it off camera. Now the only other thing, there's this and there is this. Now these can work exactly the same way. So you could use this as a writing board. You can cut it down, you can put some writing paper on the back, and it's not going to fit obviously in here, so you could just cut it down to fit in if you wanted as a pull-out writing dashboard, or you could use this. Can be used many different ways. I could cut one and use it as a pocket, but I wanted to show you one way that I like with this, and you could use this exactly the same way. You would just fold it down the middle. So what I've got is, this is on cardstock, and I've got a whole heap of tea dye pages, and I've just put them like this, and they have to stay flat as they are, and I'm going to stand up so none of them move, and I'm going to cut them all out together. So as I was saying, you could score it. I'm going to eyeball it. Now you might need, because depending on how well you've cut it, I mean, look, obviously I'm not brilliant. You might want to straighten up those edges a little bit. in the middle. You could just put 2 tiny little stitches to hold that together. If you've got a large stapler, you could use the staple. You could use just wood if you wanted. Just tie just a bit of string here. Tie that to hold them together. You could use a little bit of lace to tie them together. Either way, you now have a little cute book that you can collage in, which is what I am going to do. Yeah, so I think that's it, because same with this, you could have, I actually did get some pages I printed out from my printable tea stain kit, and I thought, same, I could just do this, cut around the outside and then fold in half, and then I've got a ready-made book. So it's really up to you. Have fun, go play, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.